Welcome to the Direct Line, powered by 10-Bit. I'm Nico Gritsiotis. We're back out at Randkiesfontein Training Centre, where today we'll be chatting to the man that handles the whole operation here out at the North Rand Training Centre. His name is Msizi Kubeka, and he tells us about his life history as well as what he does here at Randkiesfontein. Also, on Nico's notebook, we'll have a look at a couple of issues coming up at the end of the show. So welcome to the Direct Line, powered by 10-Bit, and we decided to go outside for a bit, apart from sticking in the studio, and we're here at this magnificent training complex just north of Johannesburg on the way to Pretoria. It's the Randkiesfontein North Rand Training Centre, and the man that joins me as my special guest on this episode is Msizi Kubeka, who is the track manager, the general manager of the training complex here at Randkiesfontein, and it's my great pleasure to meet you, one, and to come and interview two. So welcome to the show, Msizi.
Well, thank you, Nico. Thank you for coming to visit us. I think it's going to be a special one.
Well, you told me a moment ago that you actually live on the premises as well, which I think comes with the territory, but this is a remarkable training establishment, and we'll go through your history as well and how you got to this point. But it really is a gem in terms of, the trainers always speak very highly of this complex.
It is. And we take great pride whenever we wake up in the morning and we do our morning routines. So it's one of those special places that we have. I think this one and Summerveld are very special to racing.
And you've worked at both. You grew up in KwaZulu-Natal in Durban, not far actually from Gravel Racecourse. And you were telling me a little bit earlier, as a young child, you used to walk past saying there's serious business that goes on behind these gates.
Yeah, so I used to always wonder when I was walking past, coming from school, walking home, what exactly is happening here? I used to see pictures of horses on the outside and just wonder, what's happening here? I've always been a curious mind. So there's always been that. But I never really knew what was happening inside until, obviously, I got to start working there.
And you went to university also in KwaZulu-Natal. And what did you study and why did you study that?
So I studied horticulture. I went to DUT in Durban, studied horticulture, and I've always had a passion for plants. But more than that, it's always been turf. I've always been in love with turf.
And grasses.
Well, turf is grass.
Yeah.
So I've always been in love with turf. Even when I was studying, I used to say to my friends, I'm going to specialize in turf. I'm not going to do the other side of horticulture, which is the landscaping and trees. I'm going to focus on turf.
And that would normally, if you're going to study that, gravitate you to some sort of sport, because sports fields require turf.
That's correct. Correct. So there were two for me. The first one was obviously soccer. Soccer is huge in South Africa.
Yeah.
And then the other one was racing.
And did you work in the soccer arena at all?
I haven't had a chance to work there. I've always been in racing.
So you got snapped up quickly. I mean, you must have did you start at Summerveld then from a training centre perspective?
That's correct.
Yeah.
So immediately when I left varsity, I went to Gravel to apply, and then got an opportunity, started in Summerveld. I was there for over a year. After Summerveld, I went to Clearwood Racecourse. Lovely gem of a racecourse.
It was a brilliant track.
Lovely.
So you must have been very disappointed when that closed.
Oh my goodness. I still have the pictures from the closing.
Yeah, the last day.
Yeah. What a racecourse. So after that, I went to Ashburton. I was there for 7 years. Then, obviously, I came to the Highveld.
And then you came up to the Highveld. Yeah. And you've been actually at this complex for about 4 years. Tell us a bit more about the place that we're sitting at today.
So quite similar to Summerveld, it's also a very special place. Like I said, I'm enjoying it. My morning routines are brilliant. The staff I work with are awesome guys, energetic guys. The trainers we have, very open trainers. We have a good relationship. We work well. So there are issues here and there, obviously, but for the most part, lovely place to be.
You've got world-class trainers here. I specifically mention a guy like Michael de Kock, who's now working through his son here, Matthew. I mean, they have trained horses from this very complex to win in places like Dubai, Qatar. They've gone Hong Kong. They've won races all over the world. Horses trained right behind us here. So how important is it for you to establish and forge those relationships with all the trainers that are tenants here?
Yeah, no, that's a pillar. It's one of the key pillars in doing this job. We need to have very good relationships and very open relationship with the trainers. We do have very high standards here, and they are very aware of those standards. So whenever there's an issue, you need to be open and say, guys, we have this and this and this and this. Then we have that conversation and we make sure things keep going. Whatever happens, the show goes on.
How many different training tracks do we have? So explain, because there's turf and there's other trains. So how many different training surfaces do you have here? And are they always open, or are they open at certain times? Just give us the routine.
So we have one grass track that we have. We open it up for gallops on a Tuesday, on a Thursday, and on a Saturday. The Thursday is for special gallops. We call them special gallops. That's for our feature runners. Then we have pens on a Wednesday. Then we have 3 centrals.
Pens, just stop there. Pens are where the jockey club or the NHA need to make sure that horses can enter the stalls. They're trial periods for these horses to be able to enter the stalls. So you do that right here.
That's correct. Yeah. That's correct. Every Wednesday we do that, yeah. And then we have 3 sand tracks. We got what we call a beach track. We got a red track, and we got a top track.
What's the difference between the 3?
It's how we prepare the surfaces. So you would have what we call a heavy track, a medium track, and then a fast track. So it's basically how you prepare the surfaces. For trainers who want to work their horses in a heavy track, they would use the heavy track. If they want to do some light work, we've got the top track and we've got the medium track in between. It's just how you prepare them.
So, Msizi, we were getting on to the fact of you as the head of this establishment now, I'm sure, are keen to record or to look at the stats of the Kiesfontein-based horses. Do you go and see how well you're performing against the other training centers?
Yes, I do. I keep a keen eye on them, especially when I'm doing race day duties at the race courses. I keep a very keen eye on them. I'm very excited because for the most part, we win a majority of the races. So yeah, it's quite an experience to be involved in.
You mentioned the rainfall here, which obviously has an adverse effect. Sometimes it can rain pretty heavily, especially now we're going into the rainy season. You'd obviously have to close the tracks and tell people they can't use the tracks when they're not usable. So what level does that get to? I mean, before you actually say, well, look, guys, you can't use these tracks because they're not raceable.
Yeah, so it depends on the amount of rainfall we receive. So like I said, if it does rain in the morning, I'm the first person on the tracks. I have a look. You look at the track and if there's water sitting on the track, for the most part, there's nothing we can do. But if it rains well, then I just tell the guys, look, this is what we have. You guys will decide. So the trainers will decide either to go clockwise or anti-clockwise. So if you're going anti-clockwise, it's what they normally do after rainfall. That's where they do their slow work, just cantering around. It depends trainer to trainer, but I normally tell them, guys, this is what we have at the moment.
So mentioning just a moment ago about Kiesfontein as a training center, you're in charge of it, but you do other duties. You mentioned that you do race day duties. What does that entail?
So race day duties, basically, it's just to be at the race course and to not oversee, but assist with all the racing that happens on the day. You assist the NHA with whatever they need. If there's any changes on the cards, you make sure you communicate those changes.
Do you enjoy that part of it?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. There's a challenging part to it. If there's rainfall or lightning, then you have to make decisions.
Yeah.
You have to consult with jockeys and trainers and other stakeholders. So there's that part, but for the most part, we enjoy it very much.
And you get to work at what I class as one of the best race courses in the world, Turffontein Racecourse. It really is a fantastic place.
No, it is. It's one of those key pillars of our racing community.
You must be proud to be part of the South African racing industry, as I am. What are your projections for the future of our sport?
Well, I'm still quite young in the sport, so I'm still learning more. I think I could still learn a lot more. What I do know at the moment, it's amazing. But yeah, there's a lot to learn. I think we could still do more as a racing. I'm trying to look for the word region, if I may put it that way. There's a lot we could still achieve.
What do you mean to get people to the race course?
Yeah, to get people to the race course, because it seems like racing is shrinking. Because like when I started, we had Clarewood, we had Scottsville, we had Turffontein. I think at that time we still had Newmarket in
Gosforth Park.
So
there were a lot more race courses.
There were a lot more race courses, but at the moment it feels like it's shrinking. So I think we could do more to get back to the glory days.
Absolutely. Well, I just wanted to commend you for a job extremely well done here. This is up the road for me because I live quite close by, but it's always a great pleasure to come here and to see. I mean, there's one other question I wanted to ask you. Years ago, this used to be the scene, and you weren't around at that stage, of several family fun days, which you used to have here, which were like mock race meetings, which I remember vividly because I commentated a few of them. Do you think that would interest people in racing more? I mean, it's in the north of Joburg. It would attract a different audience. You'd be prepared to host that as the main guy here?
I've heard about that before, and they told me it was lovely days. The problem we have now is that we've had our ESCOM, because remember we have ESCOM servitude running alongside the track.
Yeah, all these power lines.
So all the pylons are preventing us from having some of those days.
Is that from a security safety point of view?
It's just from an operational point of view.
Yeah. So that would prevent it.
Yeah, so it's one of the stumbling blocks that we have at the moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's something that we are looking forward to trying, but it's just that big stumbling block that we have at the moment.
Well, I hope it comes to fruition and we solve those problems, because it really is a wonderful establishment. Just one final thing. I said that was the last question, but we're sitting just outside the clubhouse here. This place is open all the time, so people can come and have a look at it's called the North Rand Training Centre, but you can come and sit and enjoy the clubhouse and overlook all the trainers working their horses in the morning, and it's open 7 days a week, I think.
Yeah, so it's open 6 days a week.
6 days a week.
On a Monday, they take a break. But
right.
Aside from that, you can come through in the morning, have your breakfast, have your lunch, and yeah, lovely scenery. Lovely scenery.
Well, we look forward to meeting up with you again soon. Thanks for being our special guest on the Direct Line powered by 10Bet. Great speaking to you, Msizi.
Thank you for having me.
Well, our thanks to Msizi Kubeka, who is the course manager here at Kiesfontein Training Centre, and thanks to him for coming on the show. In Nico's notebook today, we'll have a look at the upcoming Cape Fillies Guineas betting, which is taking shape with Golden Palm, the Eastern Cape Raider, quoted as the favourite. Reet Petite is an up-and-coming horse from the Crawford stable that certainly has big designs on winning this Group 1 event. And then Princess of Gaul has also been coming along the right way. If you're looking further down, there's a horse called Kukenhof, who I think might have an outstanding each-way chance too. So maybe look out for those horses in the first Group 1 of the Cape Town summer season. Don't forget, we're looking for entries now into our new Direct Line powered by 10Bet competition, where you can win a 500 Rand 10Bet betting voucher weekly. We'll be giving that away weekly. And the interesting thing, is going to be very exciting. So we're asking you to join by just sending your name and your telephone number to this email address. Send it through to the Direct Line SA, that's one word, the Direct Line SA @gmail.com. And we'll get back in touch with you, where you'll appear on the podcast and you'll come up against me in a competition not to be missed. That will end off the Direct Line powered by 10Bet for this week. We're out here at the North Rand Training Complex out in Midrand. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll see you next week again. Bye-bye.